In this video, we'll look at binary operations. A binary operation is an operation performed on two numbers. And we've seen this plenty of times whenever we have simplified expressions with addition or subtraction, multiplication, and division. These are all binary operations. So let's take a look at some problems here. If the @ symbol means add both numbers, and then we're going to square that sum, so we're going to add and then square. If I have 2 at 8, I'm going to first add 2 and 8, so I'm going to put them in parentheses. Then after I add them together, I'm going to square it. So 2 plus 8 is 10, and 10 squared is 100. Same thing, I want to add both of these numbers together and then square it. So I'm going to add 3 and 4 together, 3 plus 4, and then I want to square it. So 3 plus 4 is 7, and 7 squared is equal to 49. Now here I'm going to do this twice, but I'm going to first start with this 2 at 1 because it's in the parentheses. And then I'm going to simplify what's in parentheses. So I need to add 2 plus 1 together first, and then square it. So 3 squared gives me 9, and now I got to simplify 5 at 9. So I'm going to add 5 plus 9 together, and then I'm going to square it. 5 plus 9 is 14, and 14 squared is 196. In this sample, we want to use all the examples to find out what hashtag means. So 4 hashtag 2 is 6, 6 hashtag 8 is 4, 9 hashtag 7 is 11, and 5 hashtag 8 is 2. So you can try adding the numbers together or multiplying them, see if you notice any sort of special combination. And one thing I notice with the first numbers is if I double all these, so 4 times 2 is 8, 6 times 2 is 12, 9 times 2, 18, 5 times 2 is 10. And then if I subtract the second number from what I've just doubled, so 8 minus 2, that gives me my 6. 12 minus 8, that gives me my 4 here. 18 minus 7, that gives me 11. And 10 minus 8, that gives me the 2 here. So the rule for this would be to double the first number, then subtract the second. Alright, here are some problems for you to practice on your own. And in the first couple, you're going to let the $ mean you're going to square both numbers and then subtract. Alright, number 1. I want to square 4 and square 7 and then subtract. So 4 squared is 16 minus 7 squared, which is 49. 16 minus 49, that's a negative 33. Next example, I have grouping symbols here. So I want to simplify what is in the grouping symbols first. So I'm going to square 5 and I'm going to subtract 4 squared. And when I do this, I get 25 minus 16, which is just 9. So now I need to perform this one more time. I'm going to square 3 and subtract 9 squared. So 3 squared is 9, and 9 squared is 81. 9 minus 81 is a negative 72. Alright, in our final problem, we want to use the examples to find out what the hashtag means. So 4 hashtag 2 is 12, 6 hashtag 8 is 28, 9 hashtag 12 is 42, and 5 hashtag 8 is 26. And when I look at these again, I just want to sort of play around with the numbers and see if I could figure out a rule for them. And one of the things I know is if I cut 12 in half, right? If I cut it in half, I'm going to get 6, and 28 in half, I get 14, and 42, if I cut that in half, I get 21. 26 in half is 13. And I notice that, well, 4 plus 2 gives me my 6, and 6 plus 8 gives me 14, 9 plus 12 gives me 21, and 5 plus 8 gives me 13. So my rule for this, I'm going to first add the numbers together, and then I would double them. So what I mean by that is I would take 4 plus 2, and then if I double that, that's going to give me 12, because 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12. Or if I take here 6 plus 8, that's 14, and if I double 14, I'm going to get 28. And 9 plus 12, 21, and if I double that, I'm going to get 42. So my rule is going to be add the numbers together, then double. And that's how we work with binary operations.